Hey guys, Tyler here. So we're gonna do this video a little bit differently. What you're about to witness here is I'm gonna kind of narrate through the story about my doe kill this weekend. If you guys were following us on Instagram, then obviously you saw that. So this is kind of gonna go back and explain the best we can what happened. So we have a little bit of video and some pictures and stuff like that, but the whole thing happened so crazily that we couldn't really put together a great piece of video for it. So I'm going to do my best to kind of make sense of everything and make it work. So I'm going to just kind of chunk out parts of me talking throughout this video, and I'm going to explain, what's going on. So make sure you guys stay tuned here. And like I said, I'm going to kind of run you through all that happened. All right, guys. So first thing, before we really get into the tracking or any of that, I got to go through what exactly happened here. So it was Sunday night, October 25th, and I get up in my stand. It looked like it was me a great evening for hunting. It was cold. There wasn't much wind. It honestly it seemed perfect. And I get into my stand, and when I was getting in, I was really torn on. I still wanted to shoot a doe, but I'm like, it's getting closer to the rut now. I'm like, should I do that? Should I not do it? I wasn't really 100% sure. I literally sit down for like 15, 20 minutes. I didn't even have the camera out and ready, none of that yet. I literally just was kind of getting sat down and getting ready for the hunt. And I look up and there's two deer walking right at me, like 35 yards away from me. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, what's going on? So I didn't even have time to get the camera out. So unfortunately, we didn't get any film of the actual shot at the animal. But that's why I'm explaining all this to you guys. So here come these. I eventually figured out they were does. So starts coming, right to where I want it to for a nice shooting path. I have a little shooting lane cut out for me, and starts coming right to that, nice 15, 20 yard shot. And I pull back as it's getting into that opening, and I forgot about this, and I should have remembered, but I didn't. But the peep sight, you guys that shoot archery will know exactly what I'm talking about, on my bow was twisted shut, so I couldn't look down it. And it's never been that bad before, honestly. Normally it'll slightly twist and I can still kind of look down it, and make use of it, but it was completely twisted shut and I couldn't even see anything down it. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm sitting here at full draw. This doe's like 15 yards below me, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Well, then, of course, this doe is kind of like over here and walks right around and almost directly to underneath me. Like, it's like 10 yards or less at this point. And I'm like, geez, oh, Pete. So, and it's kind of open underneath me, and it gets right there and looks right up at me. And I'm like, geez, oh, Pete. I'm like, because I could tell it was going to spook. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try shooting it. So I do my very best to like look around my peep sight and try to do my best guesswork as to where the arrow is going to go, as far as where I'm aiming. I pull the trigger. And immediately when I pull the trigger, I felt horrible. I thought I shot back, like, gut area. And I felt bad. I'm like, I shouldn't even have done that. I'm like, I felt stupid, and I just was not, not a proud moment. And so it takes off running, and I give it, I don't know, a half hour. So I get down, can't find blood right away, and eventually I get to the point where I did find some blood. I kind of had to follow the deer tracks for a minute, and I found some blood. The blood I found, which is what you guys are about to see in just a minute here, was a bright colored blood. It was not dark. As you know, a lot of you guys that are more into hunting know if you have a dark colored blood or, like a stomach acid looking color, then that's normally a great sign of a gut shot animal. It didn't have this. It was kind of bright colored. So I was like, well, I'm like, maybe I got some of the lung or something. Anyway, I still backed out for a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys out to a video now. We have a couple pictures and clips of us picking up that blood trail there. I had Melissa come out and help me track along with my grandpa. And I'm going to send you guys out to that right now, and then I will come back to you in just a minute. So guys, as you saw to this point, we were on the blood trail. We were following it good. It was a good blood trail. It wasn't very thin. The blood looked good. It was bright red. You know, there was a lot of good indicators that the animal was vitally struck. So at this point in time, we kind of kept pushing along the blood trail, and we are going to get you guys back out to the action with one more video of us on the blood trail tracking, and then we will come back and I'll finish up the story. Alright guys, so unfortunately that was all we got for video, as it started to get dark out and we had to turn the camera off because I'm sure you've heard me say it before. The GoPro does not shoot very well when the light starts to run out. So we had to put the camera away, and but we did keep tracking for a while. We probably tracked for another, I don't know, 20-30 minutes or so after we had to put the camera away. You know, it was great that we ended up finding it. And we did determine that it was we got a lung shot, and thankfully we did actually go out there and go grab the deer because the coyotes might have found it. But yeah, so that was pretty much it. Like I said, we ended up tracking it. We did end up finding it, and gutted her out and hauled it back, and now we're waiting on some meat. So all in all, you know, hunt turned out great. Like I said, things got a little hectic for a little bit, but that's pretty much been my 2020 season in a nutshell. So, like I said, great hunt, great time. Now we're on the hunt to go get a buck.